All right, thank you, everybody. This is going to be a little different of a meeting for a couple of reasons. One, my computer died, so I'm on a loaner, and this doesn't have my normal stuff on it. So we're going to just kind of talk for a few minutes about this week's lesson, about the assignment. I'm going to try and hop on to maybe last semester's class to show you an example or two. So before we begin with that, let me open up chat. Are there any questions that anybody has? And maybe just how is everybody doing? With this class isn't that different because we were online anyway. But as a class, collectively, individually, are we all okay? Any questions about where we're at this semester? Hopefully everybody's well physically. How many of you have had to go home or left Rexburg and headed somewhere else? How many of you are stuck in Rexburg? So Emily raised her hand, she's stuck in Rexburg. So some people went home happily, thank you. Dylan's back in Texas. Chris here, Cody's still in Rexburg.
Husband and I live here full time, so.
There you go, congratulations. Okay, all right, well, thank you guys. So this week we are talking about the law of gratitude and the art of living with love. And typically we make this a little shorter meeting because I'm inviting everybody to go ahead and watch DeWitt Jones talk. He gave it. So let me give you a little history about DeWitt Jones. DeWitt Jones made a film called Celebrate What's Right with the World about 15 years ago. And DeWitt worked for National Geographic, and he made a training video that was watched by millions of people. Recently, in the last couple of years, he actually made a talk, and I'll actually see if I can bring it up. And then I'll share it just briefly with you. And the title of that talk is Celebrate What's Right with the World. I'm bringing it up here. Let's find it here. All right, this one. Okay, so I'm actually going to share.
If you ever buy anything from Apple, you
really quick. So if you guys can see this, I'm actually going to skip this ad, hopefully.
should use Wikibuy. It's a browser extension that...
Ad, okay. So this talk was given at Lake Tahoe, and it was given 2 years ago. It is 18 minutes long. I'm inviting everybody to watch it, and if you watch it, just like the other extra credit we've done before, you can watch it and just let me know in the class meeting report and lesson evaluation that you watched it, and I'll give you 10 extra points. Now, for most of you, you don't need the extra credit, but this talk is worth watching and it's worth sharing. Now, this week's Creed document, there's 3 parts to it, and this one is really fun and powerful if you want to make it that way. First part would be identify some people who've made a difference in your life. And the list is up to you. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be 3 or 4 people. It can be 5 or 6. It's really up to you. With just a little description about why those people made a difference. For me, it was my mission president. It was my Uncle Wells. It was David Christensen, who wrote Inner Victory. It was my mom and my dad, and a couple of my missionary companions, and my spouse. So just a paragraph. Why did Uncle Wells make a difference in my life? He gave me advice that helped change my life. Now, if you want to make this powerful, then what we would invite you to do would be to then reach out to these individuals and actually tell them thank you. It could be an email, it could be a card, it could be anything that you would want to do, okay? The second part is identifying events in your life that at some point may have made a difference. We call these switch points. And the idea behind switch points is if you think about people in your life or events in your life. So here's an example. My mission president sharing with me how to get good grades, and then me actually doing that. It's my Uncle Wells giving me advice that actually helped me change my academic career path, which led to a job down the road. It's adopting our son, Isaac. Write just a paragraph, 2 or 3 sentences about the events in your life that have made a difference. And then the third part is an invitation to talk about the power of forgiveness and identifying, and you don't have to be super explicit. I'm going to be reading these, but you can if you want, if you're comfortable with it, identifying events in your life that may have, or you might be holding a grudge or holding you back, and talking about the value and the power of letting these things go. All right, let's see if I can do this without messing things up too much. Okay, so I'm going to go. Are there any questions about that? So that's the assignment. That's those 3 parts. So the extra credit work is having an opportunity, taking the 18 minutes to watch the DeWitt Jones talk. The next part would be creating your personal pre-document. I'm going to see if I can do this quickly and see if this will work. I'm going to go back into last semester's course because my PowerPoint is on my broken computer. And let's do this really quickly and see if I can just bring up an example or 2. Now, as we're looking forward, let's just talk about the next 2 weeks for a minute. I'm going to scroll ahead over here. Let's see if I can pull this off. Okay. Let me look at it, or is it closed? Oh, it's not going to work. All right, I'm not going to be able to show you an example. So this is going to be a shorter meeting, sadly or happily. So I'm going to go here. Okay. I want to just stop sharing. Stop share. Okay. Okay. So the next 2 weeks are going to play out like this. Actually, the next 3 weeks. This week is personal pre-document number 6. And that's your, the 3 things I just described. I'll do it one more time. People who've made a difference and why, events that have maybe had a big impact in your life and why, and a paragraph or 2 about the value of letting grudges or forgiving, letting grudges go or forgiving. Next week is the biggest week in the course because you're actually going to do your last assignment, personal pre-document number 7, and hand in your final personal pre-document assignment. And so I'll do our meeting again on Monday next week because I'm going to talk about what I'm looking for in the final project. So next week is mission statement or vision statement, singing your song as Brother Christensen describes it, and then handing in your final product. And then the last week of the course is going to take all of you about 5 minutes, maybe 10, okay? Because there's no real big assignment the last week of the course, week 13. It looks like on the schedule that there's work to do, But the only assignment on the last week of the course is writing a letter to a friend, or letter to a future student, sorry, and describe what this course has done for you. It looks like on the schedule there will be a class meeting, but we're not going to have one. There's no reason to meet. So we're just going to kind of give everybody full credit. And so your real assignment is to just do that one simple thing. So next week is going to be a bigger week, and if I would have brought my backup drive home, I would have been able to share the recording of this week, or the PowerPoint for this week. So we'll have a short meeting. That'll give you all time to go watch the video for extra credit. Okay, any questions? Sorry, I just forgot that at my office. Any questions from this week? Okay, I'll stay on to hear from anybody if you do. If not, we will round up again next Monday and prepare for the final week. And I'll send out an email on Sunday like I always do. Okay. No questions. We'll end this meeting, and I'll stay on to answer any questions. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week.